Good morning, mathematicians. Today we're going to be taking a look at lesson 4.8, metric units of length. Your learning intention is I will be successful when I can measure in metric units. For our warm-up, we're going to take a look at these three groups of decimals. First, we're going to pause the video and read each of these decimals out loud. Next, you're going to put them in order on your board. Go ahead and do that now. Taking a look at the top group of decimals, in order, this would be 0 and 3/10, 0 and 7/10, 1 and 6/10, and 2 and 5/10. So these four were already in order. The next group of decimals should be 0 and 5/100, 0 and 14/100, 3 and 28/100, and 7 and 2/100. The final group of decimals goes through the thousands place, so the first one would be 0 and 49,000ths, then 0 and 13/100ths, then 3 and 102,000ths, and finally 4 and 6,000ths. Today we're going to be comparing what customary units are and what metric units are. Customary units are used within the United States. Most of the world, however, and scientists use the metric units. Turn and talk with your partner. What are some units that you know would go under the customary units and what would go under metric units? Here are a few units of measurement that you may have mentioned. Customary units are inches, feet, and yards. Metric units are millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, and meter. These are the units we're going to be working with today. Take a look at the conversions up here. 1 centimeter is the same as 10 millimeters. 1 decimeter is 10 centimeters. Notice we have the word deci here. This prefix means 10, so 10 centimeters in 1 decimeter. And therefore 1 meter is the same as 10 decimeters. We can abbreviate each of these. Millimeters is mm. Centimeters is cm, decimeters is dm, and meters is m. Here's the meter stick. You will be using one of these today as you are going around and measuring. There are centimeters, millimeters, decimeters can be measured on here, and meters that can be measured with 1 meter stick. You will also be using a template today. Note that there are both centimeters and millimeters on your template. When you line your template up, it's important to look for where the 0 is to put it at the start of the object and then measure from there. In your math journal, turn at this time to page 96, and we're looking for a volunteer to read the directions. When you're with your partner, you're going to then measure a marker. You'll measure it, your partner measures in centimeters, and then you'll measure a third time and agree upon one. Then you'll do a math journal, calculator, the width of the door, so how far across is it, and a scissors. Go ahead and write down these 5 objects right now. The other activity you're doing today is playing the game Fishing for Digits. For this game, you're going to need 1 Fishing for Digits record sheet for each person, 1 calculator. It's a game for 2 people, practicing place value, developing a winning game strategy. The goal of the game is to have the larger number after 5 rounds. Here are the directions. Step 1. Each player secretly enters a 6-digit number into their calculators. Zeros may not be used. Player 1 goes fishing for a digit in player 2's number by naming a digit. If the digit named is one of the digits in player 2's numbers, player 2 reports the value of the digit. If the digit appears more than once in player 2's number, player 2 reports the largest value of the digit in the number. Player 1 adds the value of that digit to his or her number, and player 2 subtracts the value of the digit from his or her number. If the digit named is not one of the digits in player 2's number, player 1 adds 0, and player 2 subtracts 0 for that turn. It is now player 2's turn to fish. Reverse the roles of player 1 and player 2 and repeat step 2, 3, and 4. When each player has fished once, the round is over. The player whose calculator displays the larger number at the end of 5 rounds is the winner. Okay, so let's see an example here. For example, player 1, their calculator shows 813,296. Player 2 calculator shows 328,479. So player 1 would ask, do you have the digit 4? Player 2 replies, yes, the digit 4 is in the hundreds place. So since player 1 guessed it correctly, they add 400. If player 2 has that number, they would then subtract 400. You may just do this on your calculator. If you would like to have it written out, you'll get a sheet that looks like this. You would then write in your number. And if somebody guessed your number, you would then need to subtract. So let's say player 1 guessed that it was a 7, so I'm going to subtract 700. And then this is my new number is going to be 423,086. On my turn, if I guessed that player 1 had a 3, and the 3 was in the hundred thousands, I would then add 300,000. And then I would add them up. 6 plus 0 is 6, 8 and 0 is 8, 0, comma, 3, 2, 4. And then we would continue through all those rounds. You probably will need to take a look back at the page in the math reference book on page 242 to help you get started on this game. Again, you can do it with just the calculator, or you can use the Fishing for Digits record sheet. Let's review what we have for today. We know that we will be successful when we can measure in metric units. We're finishing Math Journal page 96, measuring length with metric units. Then you're doing Math Box 4.8. Teachers especially check number 2 here, as this will help with homework tonight. Then you play Fishing for Digits. Activity B goes on to Blend Space. Activity C, you have a Math Masters, which will be on the cart, followed by Blend Space. Make it a great day. Good morning, mathematicians. Today we're taking a look at an extended version of Lesson 4.3, Comparing and Ordering Decimals. Your learning intention today is I will be successful when I can compare and order decimals. Go ahead and jot this down on your learning journey today. You have a variety of worksheets that you're working through to practice this skill. They're all up front. Today you will complete 2 comparing decimals worksheets and complete 1 ordering decimals. Then you will do an exit slip on the star paper explaining how you knew how to order decimals or compare decimals. You may choose one problem to do this. Make it a great day.